Yeah, I want to go over something that I think, at least it's going to be different methods I think people never heard of. And one popular topic, actually fairly popular topic, is breast enhancement. A lot of women will look up sometimes, how do we get larger breasts or whatever. You don't advertise that they look it up, but they do. They do. Actually, it's a fairly popular topic. I want to get into a couple other things. And, we have the breast, the Holy Breast Cup here. And, sometimes I'll tell women how to all these things work and stuff, but I'm not using a model here because it's like I'd have to pay money, and really it's just like whatever you get on YouTube is pennies, and I'm not going to play the game with the money deal. But the thing is, with breast enhancement, there's actually several things that are not well known. I think this might be more well known. It's called sesame oil. Actually, if you rub this on the breast, some people swear it actually enhances growth. Sesame oil. Now, this also has another usage on it. It's also used with oil pulling. In other words, if you swish it around in the mouth, and I know it really makes people make an association there. You swish it around in the mouth, and you leave it in there for like 15, 20 minutes, swishing it around. You spit it out, and that actually pulls a lot of toxins out of the body. This is one of the most popular oils for oil pulling also. So if you're getting this oil, it could not just be for breast enhancement and breast enlargement. There's some people say it works. It can also be for oil pulling. Oil pulling is like when you take some of this oil in the mouth, swish it around 15, 20 minutes. You do not swallow it. You spit it out. And actually, by removing a lot of toxins in the oral area, what happens is you're removing a lot of main toxins from the body. It's actually a purification thing. Now, something else. This is an herb that actually it has a few uses. It's an herb I really can't pronounce well. I think it's from Thailand or something, or Cambodia, or in that area. It's Southeast Asia. It's Pueraria Mirifica. I guess that's what it is. I'll spell it out in the notes in the bottom because I probably did not say the pronunciation correctly. But this actually has been noted for enhancing breasts. I think you'd have to take 2 or 3 a day or something like that over so many months, and a lot of people, but it will say their breasts increase. But it also works for longevity, youth of skin too. So this is an herb that I think a lot of women would probably be very interested in, because not only does it enhance breast, it also is noted for longevity, youth, skin, and things like that. That's where it will keep you younger. It's been said in Southeast Asia, that's what this does. It's very powerful. Not well known. If you walk in a lot of places that are vitamin stores and stuff, they might not even have this, and the prices vary. And just like with any other herbs, I don't know if you can grow this in the United States. It looks like it's some type of purple flower or some crap. It says promotes women's health on it. Actually, that's what it says. But it's a longevity pill and other things too. Besides that, this is not something that's strictly for women though. It's advertised like that, but it's actually a longevity and youth pill too. So it's like it's gotten several hats, just like everything else out there. Just like the sesame oil can enhance breast enhancement, but also it is used for oil pulling. This is the most popular oil used for oil pulling, which is something that actually removes toxins from the body. Now, actually, I got this other thing. Well, I got a book here. This book is actually out of print. It's one of these rare books. This little paperback. It cost me about $70 delivered, and that was the cheapest I could find. Usually they're like $200 or $300. They're very difficult to find. There's no PDF existing anywhere on this on the internet. It's about the effects of magnetic pulse and magnets, north and south polarity. Now, this is something else that can enhance the breast, but I want to point out, that's another way you can actually use this pulsar. This is a magnetic pulsar from Dr. Clark. They also have one from Soda Instruments. Some claim the one from Soda Instruments is a little higher quality. It's a little more money, but hey, they're both very good quality. This, normally you would use it on the north side. The north side is actually more healing. You see, the south side is more stimulating. In other words, if you have a problem where maybe you have a vicious cut on your hand or something, you're using the south side to zap it. Now, this does have to do with breast too, because a lot of things have overlapping applications for many different things. Just like I talked about the oil and the herb, just various applications across the board. But when you're zapping it with the south side, you have to make sure there's no infection. No infection, because what it does is it stimulates growth. Now, it doesn't like stimulate it like a miracle. It has an influence on growth. I want to put it that way, because neither does it cause it to heal or clobber and hinder pathogens very. It has an influence on it. It doesn't like really stop it. You know, it's not like you're hitting it with an antiseptic or something. It doesn't work that good. But if you want to use this to enhance breast growth, it may help. But, you know, you have to make sure there's no breast cancer or any problems with any kind of tumors or anything in the breast if you use the south side on this. Now, if you had a problem in the breast where you had a cancerous tumor, you would want to use the north side. But that does not, the north side doesn't mean your breast will decrease. It doesn't hinder growth. It just promotes healing. So that's why when you use this, it's 95% of the time it would actually be used on the north side versus the south side. That is why I put a black piece of tape where you can actually feel this the south side. You don't want to use this side many times, except in some applications. One is where you want to stimulate growth. So if you had like healthy breasts, you had no problem where you're going to have cancer, and you eat good herbs, you eat like organic foods, and you eat raw foods and stuff, and pretty much you're guaranteed you don't have any kind of cancer of the breast. You might want to use the south side, which in combination with the herb and sesame oil could probably stimulate breast growth. Now, personally, I really don't give a shit. I mean, I think that's more like a male thing. A lot of guys, or sometimes women, want that because it's more self-esteem or whatever the hell it is. I personally think it's a bunch of BS, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't mean that much. It doesn't mean that much. It doesn't. You know, some people say it's got to be this and that. But actually, the other thing with breast enhancement, one of the simpler things to do is athletics. Basically, a lot of exercise improves the size of the breast because it improves the underlying muscle tissue. But things like that are known. But the things that are not known or too much is about this one herb, which I'll list down here. Actually, this is a longevity herb. It actually keeps your skin younger, your hair younger, overall youthful appearance. So if you think it's not, you don't want it for breast increasing, like in the male, it's not going to increase your breast. It's going to work, it's for the woman. But if besides increasing the breast in a woman, and actually this has had some good feedback on that because you have the right hormones and stuff, it will also keep you more youthful and your skin younger. So this is a very powerful herb. Now, it hasn't gotten on all the info commercials yet, but it's one of those secrets from Southeast Asia. Sesame oil, I think, is more well known, but it's still not that well known. But it's also excellent for oil pulling. Now, this is known for like various things, like some areas, but a lot of people don't think about it for breast enhancement. But like I said, if you use the south side, you want to make sure you actually have no underlying problem where there's breast cancer. You can always safely use the north side. The north side is not for actually stimulating growth, it's actually for healing, but it doesn't shrink the breast. That's the other thing. So the north side will not do that. And a lot of information I'm getting from this is off of some of the studies on this. Now, this book is actually pretty cool because it has a lot of deep research in it, even though it's a fairly small book. What's interesting is they said that even like say for instance, theoretically, they probably wouldn't come out with this product because they're afraid of maybe manufacturer liability. But if you had a south side, and also the fact that some woman could possibly have breast cancer and you would increase it. But if you put like a magnetic layer in a bra that had the south side facing the breast, it probably would help aid growth. It probably would after a while. That's probably not going to do a hell of a lot though. I think these are things that maybe have an influence, not that they'd be so powerful that they'd make a major difference. But still, all in all, if you have this device, there's other ways it can be used. And also, a lot of people, this herb is fairly expensive, I think. I don't know what the hell this thing cost. I forgot because I got this a long time ago, actually. The sesame oil, I heard that is a very good standby, and you could probably use that quite a bit. But a lot of times, some of the things that with breast, a lot of people don't know all the tricks, but some of the tricks that are out there that really work the best are the herbs. The herbs, and like black cohosh is another one. I think red clover increases estrogen and stuff like that. So those are more like female type things, and I don't have those here. The black cohosh is one that's good, and red clover. The combination will actually boost your estrogen, so which should lead to breast enhancement, I would think. That's basically how that works, right? And this thing has a number of uses, actually. I actually a magnetic influence, whether you want to use it for healing or whatever. If you want to use it for growth and stimulation, it's less powerful than something you would do pharmaceutically. This more like has an influence. That's the best way I would put it. This is not something that I would consider as actually even an alternative cure. It's something that has an influence. It can hinder problems with cancer, hinder it, maybe slow it down a little bit. And that's one reason you don't want to use the south side. You want to use the north side. But if you feel like if you're certain you absolutely have no cancer in the breast, there's no problem, you might want to use, if you have this device, you might want to use the south side for stimulation. Now, also, some people talked about the experimented with animals in this book with sexual function, to raise sexual function, sexual awareness. They used the south side to raise sexual awareness. Like basically, they had the animal sit on the south pole of a magnet for 30 minutes a day, and then the animal was hornier. So, I mean, I can imagine the products that can come out there in the sex industry. You have this pillow for your mate, and you have him or her sit on a pillow, whatever, because they're not up to par with your specifications, and after a month they say testimonies come in. So that might be an interesting product to come out with, because I think a lot of people aren't even aware of what the world of magnets can do. I mean, but I have to say this about the magnetization, because I'm bringing this up because a lot of people never thought of this in breast enhancement or whatever. It's not something that is like a hammer that it's going to make a difference like night and day. It's going to have an influence. But some of the technology actually from this, the magnetic fields, whether they heal or they cause stimulation and growth, go way back to the ancients. They go back to the Egyptians. A lot of times, stuff like that goes back to the ancient world, I trust more. So, I mean, it could be legit. Now, this book is where I got some information from. It's out of print. But, it's Davis and Rawls. It's written by Davis and Rawls. Not very well known. Albert Roy Davis and Walter C. Rawls Jr. And actually, I think they did a lot of work here in Florida. So, anyway, for what it's worth, I don't know. I mean, I'm not making some major claims here. I'm not selling anything. But I think there's something to this, and it's a different twist where a lot of people never thought of this. About, they talk about all these different products for breast enhancement and concoctions and stuff. And quite obviously, I just want to leave this at the end because, females look for, losing fat, beauty, breast enhancement. Guys look for, muscles, muscle mass, getting thinner, having a bigger pecker and all this kind of shit. Everybody's kind of like interested in this stuff, no matter what they say. And the one thing that does all those things for both sexes and improves everything all at once is general good nutrition. It's like the simplest thing. So don't ignore that. Don't eat junk food, don't drink, don't smoke, and if you do some bad stuff, make sure you kind of counteract it with some good stuff. But these are a couple things you probably never heard of, especially this herb. I think a lot of this would sell like hotcakes if they were growing this in the United States. I don't think they grow this in the United States. I think it's only in Southeast Asia. But that may be why some people in Southeast Asia stay young. They take this herb because it's not only breast enhancement, it's also, It's also youthfulness and skin and all that type of stuff. And this thing, a lot of people don't know about magnetic pulse. Magnetic pulse is something that can, I'd say it's more like it can influence and help aid healing versus something like that actually heals, clobbers it right away. I don't think this is that powerful where you're going to see a difference of night and day. But, there seems to be a lot of valid research, like I said, going all the way back to the Egyptians, that magnets work. But the thing is, when most people use magnets, they just think of it as a magnet. They don't think about the north side and the south side. Typically, if you want a magnet or you're placing it on the skin or the body or breast or whatever, you want to use the north side. The south side is for stimulation. Stimulation, now you would want to use that side when you're saying you want to stimulate sexual function, like I said the animal did. Maybe they'd have a cushion out there where somebody could sit on it, I don't know. That product could probably come out because nobody thought of it. I should actually just, I'm not in some manufacturer, I'm just throwing the idea out there. Somebody probably is going to see this video and probably run with that idea and sell it. But, it's a good idea actually. And the south side actually promotes stimulation. So, they could probably, if you were going to use the south side, you'd want to use it for stimulating the size of the breast, but you want to make sure there's absolutely no cancer involved, because it will actually stimulate the growth of cancer too. It stimulates anything. So that's why normally you want to use the north side. And I just got to point out the north side does not decrease, growth. It's more healing, and it's more like, it only hinders like the bad stuff. It doesn't hinder the good stuff, but at the same time, it doesn't cause more growth faster. It's really more of a healer. So 95% of the time, if you're using a device like this wand, you want to use the north side. So a couple ideas that, out of the box that people probably don't think about with breast enhancement, because it's a topic you'll see, all over the place, but these are things that people never even saw probably. It's probably unheard of, so I want to put it out here.